So I'm here in Chiang Rai, Thailand, at the Blue Temple. A little bandana on today because I'm getting fried in the sun. But thought I'd make another little video and explain the 10 tiers of the 10 tier system and why 10. So the number 10 is fairly arbitrary, doesn't have to be 10. It's just a nice little bit of alliteration, but also it's really a retake on how we're organizing our global society. And at the moment, this idea of democracy and this idea of capitalism, they're both extremely messy, and really we can make our organizational system more consistent. So really what the 10-tier system does is it's trying to break down our managerial system, global management, which we don't really have in any effective way, because communication is really a huge part of that. And we don't really have an official information channel. We have the media, but the media is firstly privately owned, and they don't really have any obligation to tell us the whole truth in a way that properly informs us. So for an effective democracy to operate, we really need a sort of a very effective communication system going both ways, from between the top and the bottom of society, the top and the bottom. And that's not to say that the top is more superior, more elite than the bottom, or more important. They both have their places. But the 10 tiers really look to delegate more evenly in terms of budget, responsibility, communication. And I'll give you a quick sort of breakdown. So this can go a lot of different ways. This can doesn't have to be precisely this way. But so we've got 1 to 10, all right? 1 to 10 tiers of management, of communications. And if tier 10 is global management, so thinking like the United Nations, that would be sort of the equivalent of a 10-tier, tier 10 council, while tier 1 would be the household. So that's sort of the grassroots, ground level management. And everyone has their own tier 1 council, which is their own household, their own accommodation, really. It's really like a block of land that needs to be managed, that is given a budget to look after that section of land, that property, and that budget can help to maintain it. So this kind of does go under the idea of changing this idea of private land ownership, not ownership in general. And it's not looking to take land away from anyone, because land has a lot of sentimental value. It also has a lot of there are materials and things, but part of this comes from the change in philosophy from the world belonging to us to us belonging to the world. It's our responsibility as humans, as humankind, to be looking after the planet and not to be using it as a resource that can be pillaged and harvested and used without condition. And I think there are dangers in private land ownership. There's also danger in the state owning everything. So we're not looking at that either. But tier 1 would be the household. Tier 2 might be the neighborhood. So there are many households in a neighborhood. Tier 3 might be a suburb. There are many neighborhoods in a suburb. And then it goes Tier 4, Tier 5, Tier 6, Tier 7, Tier 8, all the way to the top, when it's smaller groups inside bigger groups. And so everyone belongs, like you simultaneously belong to your household, but you also belong to your neighborhood. You belong to your suburb, you belong to your city, you belong to your country, you belong to your continent, you belong to your world. And in that way, everyone is part of Tier 10. Everyone is part of the global management. And this it dangers on getting into all the different subjects that are within this united system. But I invite you to read some of the material we've written to understand these concepts more. There's a lot to it. It's very easy to listen to 5 minutes of it and see issues in this system, in this concept. But it's very nuanced. There's a lot of issues that are addressed, a lot of challenges to overcome. But this system is designed to take care of as many of these problems as possible, from democracy to the economy to poverty and all the major problems. But it also, possibly most importantly, invites. It's not, the idea isn't to impose the system on people. It's to invite people to engage with it, so that we can effectively create a world by the people, for the people. And the only way we're going to have a democratic system, a democratic future, a world by our own design, is if the people actually get involved. And we can't do that if people just sit back and wait for someone else to solve the problems for us. So, yeah. I'm going to show you a statue I passed before. It was kind of cool. It was like Thai Poseidon or something. But yeah, just wanted to give you a little taste of what it's all about, so that we can try to